Welcome back for part 2. Again, we're at the Center for Love and Light in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm Jamie Butler, and I'm here with
Marco Pardi.
And we're going to finish up talking about why people feel uncomfortable of sharing about their near-death experience or their phenomena. And we covered religion and spirituality a little bit, but we have another element that plays within this topic, which is science, neuroscience. Do you want to make a comment on that one?
Neuroscience has been gaining in popularity, particularly in the past 10 years. And there are some obviously beneficial results coming from neuroscience. However, when it gets into this area, there are some problems. The neuroscientific community and much of the scientific community at large does have what could be considered a very valid concern about people talking about, I had this experience and I went here and I saw my deceased relatives and all that kind of thing.
Why are they concerned?
The concern is that, and I don't know that it's particularly voiced very well, but the concern appears to be that if you open the door even a crack to the spiritual experience and so on, then you're going to open the door to people who will take that and utilize it as a means of enforcing their religious views on the population. So the scientific community should be rightly concerned about such things as people saying, I was talking to God the other day, and God is very much against stem cell research. And I was talking to God the other day, and God is very much against abortion, and on and on and on. So you can see this opens the door to a whole litany of people who claim to interpret the will of this being.
Sorry, I just had a funny image in my head of like God picketing with like signs. Go for this, go for that. But really, we're the instrument. So no matter what experience we have, these near-death experiences, phenomena, conversations with God, it's all coming through us as an instrument, through our belief systems and what we've learned. So kind of really the human is the weakest link in the whole connection.
Yes, but I would condition what you're saying by questioning when you use the term belief system, because belief in and of itself should be suspicious. That is, when we look at belief, what does it mean? It means we've accepted something without any further questioning of it.
Yes.
To me, personally, that's unacceptable.
Why? Because
experience is such that belief cuts off any opportunity for fully experiencing what there is next to experience. If I set myself up with beliefs, then I see the world through those beliefs.
So it's better to be on the fence, neutral, than to sign up to one particular belief. So no matter what comes your way, what experience, phenomena, then you're not looking at it with a certain tinted pair of glasses.
Exactly, sure. Now, that brings up another issue in that...
Wait a second, that kind of supports what neuroscience is trying to do, right? Looking at it on the fence, neutral.
I'd like to say that about neuroscience, but I can't say that about neuroscience so long as certain neuroscientists, not the field as a field, but certain neuroscientists become very vocal in stating that everything is materially based, and if I stick a needle in one part of your brain, you're going to do this, and I stick a needle in another part of your brain, you're going to do that. That is, to me, not being on the fence. That's taking a very concrete, materialistic stance.
And you were about to say, before I rudely cut you off.
Well, I was about to say that the problem, I think, also resides even in our language. For example, the use of the term afterlife is extraordinarily misleading and in my view, quite damaging to being able to think
Why?
openly.
Why?
Because the concept, the term afterlife, suggests that life is material and what comes after life is spiritual, as opposed to saying spirituality is an ongoing, constant process. If you look at terms like eternal, eternal has no end. Therefore, it has no beginning, because a beginning is an end viewed backwards. If we talk about, well, your eternal soul, as the religious people like to talk about, they're setting themselves up for their own problem, in as much as then you can say, well, wait a minute, if we're talking about eternal soul, eternity doesn't begin somewhere. Eternity doesn't begin when my body falls down. Eternity is always here. I've always been eternal.
So there really should be no afterlife.
The term afterlife is dreadfully misleading.
I kind of like the way you're looking at it a lot. So could you give it a name?
That's a very difficult thing to do. I find that when you try to name something, what you're doing is you're circumscribing it. You're circumscribing it. I mean, we could go for the ultimate here, and we could say, look, try naming this concept that people have called God. If you try to do that, and then you try to ascribe certain characteristics to this God, such as the three heavy omnis, omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience, you find that, taking omnipresence, for example, if this God that you've just posed is omnipresent, there's nothing that is not God. If it's omnipresent, it is in everything. Therefore,
eternal.
Therefore, how can you say, well, I'm thinking of God right now, but I won't be thinking of God 10 minutes from now?
Won't happen. All right, well, I'm going to pause there, and we're definitely going to do a part 3 because I want to pick a little bit more of Marco's brain on this topic. So thank you so much for watching part 2, and we will see you again in just a second. I'm Jamie Butler, and I'm with
Marco Pardi.
Thank you so much.